are live. I was not knowing if our intro was playing or not. I could not tell. It was just a black screen. I was like, oh boy, this could be a problem. But we are live. Do or die, baby. Playoff edition, week 15. The waivers are hot and heavy. It's a dumpster fire out there, but there are guys you can get. If you are in need of players or if you want to take a shot at certain guys, there are some potential pathways to finding relevant players at this time of year because, like we saw in multiple backfields last week, guys just went down and guys stepped up. So it's myself and Jeremy, hashtag Patrick Taylor doing it.
Darn right.
Yes, it is. How you doing today, Jeremy?
Yeah, man, I'm good. I am not doing the Patrick Taylor this week. I'm a little scared about what else is happening there, including it being San Francisco, and you never know what the hell Kyle Shanahan's going to do. But yeah, look, we had some victories, we had some defeats in week 14, but we roll on. We make sure we get into the playoffs. I was showing Jesse a league I'm in where I was second in points, first in points again. I finished ninth out of 10 teams. So I got the number 2 pick. But what the hell? Like, this is like a microcosm of my season, man. Ugh.
Yeah, those are the worst leagues, and where you almost want to go against just scoring and not play teams because those teams feel cursed, right? No matter what you do, you continue to score. Yeah, I have a team that was like second in points scored in the league, and they're the 8 seed. I barely stuck at the 8 seed because every week I'm getting murdered by no other team, and I'm like, I don't know what to do, man. I'm putting up a good team here, second in points again. I'm like, yeah, you live and learn. So now we just got to make a dramatic comeback from the 8 seed and take down all the top teams and just put it together. Probably won't happen, but that's what we're here talking about, right? That's what we're here for. Let's head over to the old quarterbacks. Now, there's not many under 50% rostered. It's kind of the same guys we talk about each and every week, right? This gets into the Drake May. This gets into the Jameis Winston. This gets into, why am I blanking on his name? There's another guy. I'll be there in 1 second. I have him listed somewhere. I've forgotten him. Yeah, it's like Matthew Stafford is like a little bit there. Will Levis is going up against Cincinnati. We talked about Cooper Rush. He was solid for last week. So if you streamed Cooper Rush, you could go back to the well again with Cooper Rush. They're playing Carolina. And the guy that he's playing against, I think, is a really good option. It's Bryce Young because he's playing Carolina. Those are kind of the key ones. If AOC plays and you're really desperate, you could go with that against Atlanta's defense because they cannot pressure anybody, so they can get yards. Of these guys in this range, and maybe you want to do the Kirk Cousins experiences against Vegas, I really don't, but it's the thought process is there. Who are you kind of targeting out of all of these guys available on the waivers?
Yeah, just one thing on that Atlanta defense. We talked about it last week, but they've really, I think it was Zach who corrected me in our chat. Over the last couple of weeks, they really have been getting to the quarterback. And last week, I mentioned his name earlier, Caden Ellis has come out of nowhere to be a force rushing the passer. Because Zach mentioned that to me, Zach Hagan mentioned that to me, I specifically watched that game to see what the rush was like. It was fierce from Atlanta for a time. I believe were they the ones who gave up 5 touchdowns to Sam Darnold in the first and second in the first half? In the first half, that pass rush was fierce. Minnesota and Kevin O'Connell figured it out. Sam Darnold was getting the ball out quicker. He was able to maneuver in the pocket and looked great. Really from midway through the second quarter on, but that pass rush was getting home early. So just be careful with Atlanta and those pass rush because it has improved. But Cooper Rush, I cannot do Cooper Rush again. I know the Carolina, metrics are bad. DJ Wonham has been back for 3 or 4 games, and he's the guy, remember, that came in from Minnesota to replace Brian Burns, who was jettisoned over to New York Giants in a trade. And he really is damn near a 1-for-1 replacement. He's just a budding young pass rusher off the edge. And he has been great in the last 4 games. It doesn't always show up on the stat sheet, but the amount of pressures that this guy gets is insane. It has really solidified this defense. They're still not a good defense, but against a terrible offensive line. I mean, Cooper Rush was struggling last week with, help me who they play, with Cincinnati, with that Cincinnati pass rush, which is not good. I mean, he still put up enough points for you, but I'm not doing it against Carolina. I don't trust it. We saw Carolina kind of minimize what Philadelphia was able to do in the passing game. They're absolutely going to destroy Cooper Rush. I think Carolina wins this game by 2 touchdowns. Dallas is so bad. And, I think a lot of that is going to be DJ Wonham and that pass rush. So I am not doing Cooper Rush either this week. I'm going to trust somebody else, whether it's Bo Nix or Drake May. or like you said, Bryce Young. Bryce Young, for me, is the guy to get against this Dallas defense. Marshawn Overshawn, who came back for a couple weeks, looked almost like himself. Now he's out for the season. It's gone far too bad in Dallas. Give me all the Bryce Young I can handle.
Yeah, the interesting thing is the Cowboys have dealt with a ton of injuries, but they're still top 3 in pressure percent. It's like 26%. They're still there, and like against Burrow is magic in like the pocket and what he does. So like he only had 2 sacks in the game. Like you could pressure him, it doesn't matter. He's fantastic. We're seeing that kind of from Bryce Young too. I think he'll be all right as well. But like on the flip side, against the Dallas defense, there is some like a little bit of concern for Bryce Young because that offensive line is just not that good, right? Protecting him, it's better run blocking. So we'll see. I think they both kind of have issues, if you want to say that. Yeah, like Best Ball Call calls it. Like it's done a 180. The vibes around Carolina have gotten exponentially better because Bryce Young's playing really well.
They should have won that game, Jesse. They should have won that game.
They Xavier Legette into the sun.
In my head, they won that game. Because they didn't draft Xavier Legette, Jesse. Because they didn't draft Xavier Legette. They did the right thing and drafted like Lad McConkey or Keon Coleman or whoever the hell else was available there.
Could have got Lad. I will say they should just put Xavier Legette on the sideline, have him call plays with a southern accent. That would be good vibes. But yeah, man, you can't be costing Bryce Young these wins. But the thing about Bryce Young, since he's been benched, he's been one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. He's like it's amazing like the 180 turn like you're talking about with Bryce Young. He looks so much better, which is why even with the really bereft talent personnel around him, it's basically Adam Thielen. Hopefully Jalen Coker comes back. If Jalen Coker comes back, hospital conference this week. He's been injured. Yeah, like there's injuries across the board, right? So they lose Jonathan Brooks. I mean, Chuba Hubbard's just a stud at this point. So you just roll Chuba Hubbard out. So it was looking bad for Chuba Hubbard. It's looking elite for Chuba Hubbard this week. He's probably top 8 running back. So yeah, I think it's there. It's just I do worry about the offensive line keeping him upright because Dallas can still get there. They got their guys like back to what it was. It's just their back end sucks. Like their back end is atrocious. So you can get yards against them.
Let's quickly just go through the tight ends. I know we talked about a few of them with the Carolina tight ends. Calcaterra is an interesting one. I know he's playing Pittsburgh, but if he is still out there, he showed you what he can do last week. Just 3 targets, but he did find the end zone. Pittsburgh, Washington, and then Dallas. Not terrible if you are in need of a tight end, especially with what's going on with Devonta Smith, and if he is going to be healthy for the remainder. AJ Brown is having his issues with the quarterback. They're not throwing a ton, but I don't mind Calcaterra. I'm not chasing Stone Smart. I'm not because Disley went out injured in that game. I'm not chasing Daniel Bellinger on a bad team. I might consider Noah Fant or Gesicki, but I really want JT Sanders. Jesse, are there anyone else who you're thinking about at tight end under 50%?
Yeah, it's the guy we kind of didn't really talk about. We talked about him remotely. It's Hunter Henry. He's tied at 12 on the year. Like he just gets targets. It's not efficient targets, but he's getting a ton of PPR targets. So like the last month, you see 9, 8, 9, 4, 8 targets. Like he's very much a centralized part of that passing. And then I think this more gets into how bad the wide receiver core is. Why Hunter Henry is like a centralized part of the passing attack.
Keep cutting them.
They're just like we don't got enough quality wide receivers. And I'm like, Then when you draft Jalen Polk and you draft all these other guys, Tyquan Thornton, and they're just nothing for you. This is how it goes. So I know they're hyped to get T. Higgins, but like I'm pretty sure T could just massively extend him. So let's hope that just go get Deontay. He's going to be dirt cheap. You're going to need 150 targets. There you go. Maybe he's a locker room cancer. I don't know why he's so cheap and what it is, but there's clearly something off about Deontay. Maybe he figures it out because him just getting benched on a Super Bowl caliber team is just the wildest thing I've ever heard.
It is crazy.
But yeah, tight end, there's not really much available. If any of those like high profile guys are available, go get them because there's very few. And if trading is still allowed in redraft leagues, I know we're past that point, but in dynasty leagues, if you want to trade for an impact quality tight end, go get one of those guys. A lot of these older dudes like a Kelsey, we talk about that. They're super cheap at this point.
Second round for Kelsey.
Yeah. You could get Johnny Smith for dirt cheap. You could get freaking David Njoku for the same. Like, there's a lot of tight ends in that range that are producers for you that don't hold the market value. So go get them. Like, this is what it is, right? Yeah. All right. So thank you all for joining us. We're almost pushing an hour, and that's a long waiver wire episode because there's not that many guys available. So we are shooting the shit quite well this day. Yeah, we're gonna jump into rankings. Try to do it tomorrow. If not, we'll release them on Thursday. We'll go through the week. You know what it is at this point. We have pretty much solidified what we're doing each every week. Saturday's a roundtable, and then join us for the Sit Start playoff edition on Sunday. So make or break. Don't hold it against us if we get it wrong. We're gonna get some wrong, but we will try to do it as many right as possible.
Just
if I'm hitting 60%, I'll call it a win. I know that doesn't sound great, but that's like a win, right? So for myself, for Jeremy, for SC, and for Aaron, we are the FFU. And take care. Go get those waiver wire guys and win your week 15. March on to the playoffs. See ya, folks.